everybody, my name is Stephanie and today I was wanting to do the end of the year book tag. There are so many books that I still want to read, so let's do a tag about it. I think Ariel Bissett is the original creator of this video, so I'm going to leave her video linked down below. She just posted her most recent one a couple weeks ago, so please check her out. I'm sure you all know who she is. She's amazing. Well, I have my questions written here, so hopefully that's not annoying. And without further ado, let's get started. Oh, actually, tangent. I got bangs, so let me know what you think about them. I think they're cute. I'm not sure if I like them better straight or curly yet, but yeah, just let me know what you think. Okay, so now we can get started. So the first question is, any books that you've started this year that you need to finish? So the way I interpreted this question is any books that you have put down this year and then need to still pick back up and finish. So I picked Louise by Simone Zelich? I'm not sure. But this is a book about a mother and her daughter-in-law who are traveling to Israel as Holocaust survivors, and they don't have a great relationship because I believe that the daughter-in-law, Louisa, is German Christian and she's fair-haired and she stands out. It sounds really good. I typically really like World War II stories, but my mom read this before I did and she said that it was okay. And I did not get that excited. Like, I got to page 24 and after I wasn't like immediately sucked in, I kind of gave up on it. I do intend to pick it up again eventually, but as for right now, I'm putting it to the side, and so I feel like I'm kind of cheating a little bit because I don't really intend to pick this up during this year, maybe next year or the year after that, I don't know. But definitely not this year. So I wanted to also pick a book that I do intend to pick up this year, and so I kind of modified the question as to a series that you want to finish this year. So I picked Magic Lessons by Alice Hoffman. This is the prequel to Practical Magic, and I love this series. I finally finished Practical Magic. The first one I read was The Rules of Magic, and I liked that one more, and this one was written after Rules of Magic was written, but it's the prequel to Practical Magic. I don't know. But so I'm hoping that this one kind of ties in more with the Rules of Magic, because I really liked Practical Magic, but it didn't have that whole curse aspect that was in the Rules of Magic. And so this is about Maria Owens and how she kind of creates that curse that I'm really interested in. It says, when Maria is betrayed by the man who once declared his love for her, she follows him to Salem, Massachusetts. Here she invokes the curse that will haunt her family. So I'm really excited because I'm super interested in that curse, and I would love to see what happened to Maria, because it does hint at this book, I guess, in Rules of Magic a lot, because it talks a lot about Maria and how she was betrayed somehow by a man, and it's gonna be really cool to hear her story. I love this series. It's just so relaxing and cozy, and it's about love and magic and just family. It's awesome. I love this series. It's not the most like gripping or exciting or plot driven, but there's something just special about this. Like, when I think about magical realism, I think about this series, just because, I don't know. And the magic in here isn't like in your face kind of magic. It's mostly herbs and instincts and superstitious kind of magic, I guess, where I don't know how to describe it, and they make like potions to help you feel better, and they grow all sorts of plants, and I don't know, it's amazing. I think you should try it if you really like magical realism. They are beautiful. So that's that. That's a series I wanted to finish this year. And the next question is an autumnal book to transition into the end of the year. And I picked Mexican Gothic by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. This is actually my sister's book. I was holding on to it for her until she could come by and pick it up, or if I could just drop it off, and I haven't yet. But now it's on my TBR. Sorry, Shelby. But Mexican Gothic. So it's a reimagining of the classic Gothic horror novel, a story about an isolated mansion in 1950s Mexico and the brave socialite drawn to its treacherous secrets. Ooh. I've heard so many good things about this. It's all over BookTube. It's actually getting a little old now, and I just need to pick up the pace. I need to get with the times. Sorry, ignore that. I really want to read this one. I love that, especially because October is coming up really soon. So I'm hoping that she'll let me keep this until I can read it in October because it sounds amazing. I know that it's not everybody's favorite, but I really think that I'm gonna like it with its Gothic vibes, and it's in the Mexican countryside. She has dreams with visions of blood and doom. I don't know. I think that this is very autumnal. 3 books you want to read before the end of the year. So the first one is Dune by Frank Herbert. I've actually already started this, and I'm only 66 pages in. I did that read along with Books with Chloe for this book, where she reads like the first 3 chapters or something like that, and it was so cozy, so nice. I enjoyed that a lot. Hopefully she does more things like that. Maybe I can do something like that one day, maybe. I don't know. But this book is actually something I was super intimidated by. I thought that it was going to be really confusing and have lots of terminology that I didn't understand, and weird character names and weird places. And there's a lot of weird names, but it's not as hard to understand. Excuse me. It's not as hard to understand as I thought it was going to be. It's really approachable. I'm loving it. I think the writing's amazing. The characters are interesting. It actually kind of reminds me of Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. And I love that book. That book is so good. It's one of my favorite fantasies of this year. And this is science fiction, but it kind of gives me those types of vibes with like a chosen boy who is prophesized to do great things eventually. So I don't know much about it. I just know that he is going to eventually become the Muad'Dib, and he's supposed to bring to fruition humankind's most ancient and unattainable dream. That's all I got. I'm only 60 pages in, so I don't know. But yeah, the movie's coming out next month, so I really, really want to finish this before then, so that way I can watch the movie. So pumped for that movie. I don't know what it is. I don't even know why. I'm so excited. I'm pumped. I'm pumped to read a book and watch a movie, just do that classic dynamic duo type of thing. I'm so excited. So yeah, that's gonna be one of the highlights of my year right now. So yeah, Dune. Definitely want to read this by like next month. And then The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin. Sunbeam's Jess raves about this book. I have the whole series. I got it all. I got all 3 of the whole trilogy. And I have been so pumped to read this for so long, and I would love to start this series this year. My birthday's in November, so I'm kind of like compiling a list of amazing books that I think I'll love to read during that month. And this is definitely gonna make it on there. I'm so excited. It says, "This is the way the world ends for the last time." That's it. That's all I'm going to tell you. That's all I'm going to read. That's all I'm going to know. Do your own research if you really want to know. That sounds amazing. End of the world fantasy that comes highly recommended. um, yeah, definitely need to read this one this year. And then to go with the little spooky vibes that's coming next month, I've got Libbys Story by Stephen King. Stephen King is a really hit or miss author for me, like really hit or miss. I've only liked like a couple of his books, and some of them just aren't it for me. But for some reason, I have such high expectations for this book, which is probably bad. I don't know. The premise just sounds amazing. It says Lacey has lost her husband Scott 2 years ago after a 25-year marriage of profound and sometimes frightening intimacy. Scott was an award-winning best-selling novelist and a very complicated man. Lacey knew there was a place Scott went, a place that both terrified and healed him, could eat him alive or give him the ideas he needed in order to live. Now it's Lacey's turn to face Scott's demons, to go to that terrifying place known as Booyah Moon. What begins as a widow's effort to sort through the papers of her celebrated husband becomes a nearly fatal journey into the darkness he inhabited. I just love that premise that a dark place that a writer has to go, and it says that he needs it in order to live or it can completely destroy him, and now she has to go to this place after he died. That sounds so interesting to me, so creepy and fun, and this should be perfect for October. Let's hope that it's a hit for me. I'm just really hoping this doesn't disappoint me. That's so mean to say, but you gotta keep your expectations reasonable. Yeah, super excited. Gotta get to that. It's a lot of big books, and I'm hoping to get through this year. I love big books. Ooh, I skipped a question. Whoops. Before that one, I was supposed to answer a new release that you're waiting for. I don't really keep up with new releases. I'm definitely the type of book buyer that kind of just walks into a bookstore and then looks around. And normally I actually skip the new release section just because they're the most expensive books. So normally I go to the clearance or the paperbacks, the older ones. I don't really buy a lot of new releases. I do get them because I have a subscription to Book of the Month, and a lot of their books are new releases, so that's how I get them, but I don't really keep track of it because I know I'm probably not going to buy them if it doesn't come out on Book of the Month. So yeah, none. Sorry. A book that'll shock you and become your favorite book of the year. I actually have 2 books for that. First one, I think, is a no-brainer. It's The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This one, I mean, do I even have to say anything about it? Like, everyone on BookTube, Bookstagram, Book Talk talks about this book, and I still haven't read it yet. I even lent it to my cousin to read, and she absolutely loved it. And here I am, just missing out on the party. Yeah, I need to read this year. It's going to happen. I can do it. Like, I'm missing out. I really am. I've read Daisy Jones and the Six, and I have Malibu Rising. So I just have all of her books, and I haven't read this one yet. It's a great shame of mine. I'm going to read it. I'm going to. It's going to happen. Here is the evidence. Y'all are my witnesses. I'm going to read this book this year. And then the second book, I kind of added it in last second because this book just gives me that special feeling. I don't know. I talked about this in my September TBR, which isn't going very well. Spoiler. But it's Clara and the Sun by Kazuo Ishiguro. I still haven't read this. I really, really, really want to read this year. I'm dying to read this. I don't know what it is about this book, but I feel like it's going to be amazing. And it's just going to hit me where it hurts, hopefully. It says he's an original and remarkable genius, a master craftsman, a remarkable novelist, a master literary stylist. I don't know. My literary fiction heart just yearns for this. It yearns. So dramatic. But I've talked about this on my September TBR, but it's about Clara, an artificial friend with outstanding observational qualities, and she watches carefully the behavior of those who come in to browse and of those who pass in the street outside. She remains hopeful a customer will soon choose her, but when the possibility emerges that her circumstances may change forever, Clara is warned not to invest too much in the promises of humans. It sounds amazing. It's about artificial intelligence and what it means to be human, and if there really is a difference between the two. I am dying to read this. Period. And the last question is, what are my reading plans for 2020? And my answer is none. I can barely plan out what I'm gonna read during the month. Definitely not for next year. I do want to read the sequel that's gonna come out for Black Sun that I talked about earlier. I want to read that sequel. It comes out in April next year. And that's all I got. That's all I know for sure, is that I do really want to read that one. I think, I forgot what it's called. It's like Fevered Star or something like that. Yeah, I'm definitely a mood reader, and I have a busy schedule, and I cannot make that sort of commitment for reading plans. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. I had a lot of fun making this video. I get so excited about the books that I want to read. It makes me happy to think about all the great books that I can still read this year. Please leave a comment of like what's your top book that you definitely need to read this year. I love reading comments. I think they're so much fun. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And I hope you have a great rest of your day or night. I'm not here to judge. Bye.